Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 9, text number 4, the most confidential knowledge. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyaktamurtinam masthani sarvabhutani na chaham teshvavasthitah. Maya, by me, tatam, pervaded, idam, this, sarvam, all, jagat, cosmic manifestation, avyaktamurtina, by the unmanifested forms, masthani, in me, sarvabhutani, all living entities, na, not, cha, also, aham, I, teshu, in them, avasthitaha, situated. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is not perceivable through the gross material senses. It is said, Ataha Sri Krishna Namadina Bhavid Grahyam Indriyahi Sevanam Mukhehi Jivadav Swayam Spuratyam Evadyaha. This is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, 1st canto, 2nd chapter, 234th verse. Lord Shri Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, etc. cannot be understood by material senses. Only to one who is engaged in pure devotional service under proper guidance, he is revealed. In the Brahma Samhita, 5th chapter, 38th verse, it is stated, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanayana Santaha Sadeva Radeshu Vilokayanti. One can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda, always within himself and outside himself, if one has developed the transcendental loving attitude towards him. Thus, for people in general, he is not visible. Here it is said that although he is all-pervading, everywhere present, he is not conceivable by the material senses. This is indicated here by the word avyaktamurtina. But actually, although we cannot see him, everything is resting in him. As we have discussed in the 7th chapter, the entire material cosmic manifestation is only a combination of his two different energies, the superior spiritual energy and the inferior material energy. Just as the sunshine is spread all over the universe, the energy of the Lord is spread all over the creation, and everything is resting in that energy. Yet one should not conclude that because he is spread all over, he has lost his personal existence. To refute such an argument, the Lord says, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but I am still aloof. For example, a king heads a government which is but the manifestation of the king's energy. The different governmental departments are nothing but the energies of the king, and each department is resting on the king's power. But still one cannot expect the king to be present in every department personally. That is the crude example. Similarly, all the manifestations that we see and everything that exists both in this material world and in the spiritual world are resting on the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The creation takes place by his diffusion of different energies, and as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Vishtabhyam idam Krishnam, he is present everywhere by his personal representation, the diffusion of his different energies. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshulmilitanjena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Maya tatamidam jagat sarvam avyaktamurtina matsani sarvabhutani na chashvam avastita. By me in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. This word, avyaktamurti, avyakta means unmanifested. Murti is form. Unmanifested form is there. The form is not being revealed to everyone. Only those who have the vision developed through the Shastra Chakshu, the divine knowledge which is imparted to Arjuna. This entire chapter is the most confidential knowledge, right? And this knowledge is divine. But not only the knowledge is divine, but Krishna shows how to see it. So the eyes of divinity should be in our vision. The eyes that we are going to see through divinity, medium of divinity, should be in that knowledge. So, pashyanti jnana chakshusha, one sees through the eyes of knowledge, means through the revealed scriptures. Then scripture are revealing, means it is a realized knowledge. So one has to develop the divine knowledge by serving the divine knowledge. Means instructions are there, they are divine. And the personality is there, that is divine. So how he is having an unmanifested form. Is it that the form has never manifested before? Avyakta Murti. Avyakta Murti means which is not going to be manifested to anyone and everyone. Right? Because the prerequisites of seeing the manifestation of Lord Krishna is not cleared up. It's not achieved. People want to see Krishna without developing divinity. How is it possible? So, can you turn this off? So, unmanifested form, the impersonalists think unmanifested form people imagine. It is nonetheless unmanifested, but the form is by mental speculation. So, would you call that unmanifested form? No. The form is there, form has to manifest. Otherwise, how would you call it form? The form is generally three-dimensional. But Krishna's unmanifested form has fourth dimension. It's called Turiya. It's beyond length, breadth and height. These are three dimensions, but the transcendental nature is having the fourth stage called Turiya Avastha, the situation which is of the fourth dimension. So, who has developed that fourth dimension? One who is serving the divinity. Divinity is the fourth dimension. Right? Otherwise, our eyes can understand a plain two-dimensional figure, a solid three-dimensional figure through the binocular vision. They call 2D and 3Ds. Right? 3D may become virtual, but not exact. So there is a limitation to use our binocular vision to estimate the third dimension. You may not exactly act as you acted before. Right? You may not be able to see exactly next time. It may be different, because that is a virtual possibility only. And you can't make a judgment of reality on that. So, Prabhupada quotes this verse from Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Atah Krishnasya namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai. Even the holy name and its purport or its effect and anything cannot be understood by our blunt senses. Indriya. Why? Because our indriyas, which are knowledge acquiring senses, they have been polluted by the effect of the three modes of material nature. So three modes will not allow you by itself to transcend and to come to the fourth stage. Right? The Sattvagun, Rajagun and Tamogun. These are the material modes, and material modes have to be purified to go beyond the transcendental mode. That Lord Brahma is saying. Sattva avalambi parasattvam vishuddha sattvam govindamadi purusham tamam vijani. So, beyond the mode of goodness is parasattva. Parasattva is the field of divinity. Okay? Parasattva is the field of divinity. And Krishna exists in Vishuddha Sattva. So, we have to utilize the Parasattva. Parasattva is possible. Parasya Brahmano Shakti. The Supreme's energy is spiritual. Brahmano Shakti. This energy is all-pervading. But if it is all-pervading, then it doesn't have a form, as impersonalists say. But Krishna says, no, it is impervading, but at the same time it has a personality. So, by this verse, even we can defeat the Mayavadi impersonalist. It is specifically says that Jagat Avyakta Murtina. Avyakta Murti, unmanifested form. Krishna approves that unmanifested form is just serve. It may be through Shabda Brahman, but serve. Sevanam mukhehi jihvadav swayam spuratyamevadya. The service attitude to the holy name. The holy name is Murti. Yes, Sakshat. So if the holy name is having the form, if the deity has the form, if the Supreme Personality of Godhead has the form, but unless and until we understand the presence of that personality through the different agencies, like Paramatma has a form. Avyakta Murti, Maya Tadam Idam Jagat Sarvam Avyakta Murtina. That Avyakta Murti is Avigyat friend, Avigyat Mitra, who is pervaded all over. He's a friend in disguise, but he is Avigyat. You can't know him. You can't know him. Only by serving attitude to any of his aspects, the name, form, qualities, or the personalities. And this service attitude will reveal. It will be revealed by himself, not that we can manufacture revelations. Now, so the idea is very clear. Sevanam mukhehi jivadav swayam spuratyamevadya. By serving the holy name, jihva adi means all our senses to be engaged in service of, say, the holy name. Otherwise, the holy name, by its virtue of its divinity, will not be accessible to our blunt senses. As long as our senses remain blunt and not conscious of the divinity of the holy name, then bahu janma yadi kare shravana kirtana tabutana paye Krishna pade premadha. That is the nature. For years, the whole life, many lives, you can keep on chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you will not get the love of Godhead. So, because neglecting any aspect, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead actually It's the sum total of all ignorance. Foolish. Stupidity. So, Prabhupada says this particular, emphasis of that if you serve through your blunt senses, the holy name will reveal itself. So the personality will be revealing himself if you serve. You serve the deities. Now, the deity is Vigraha, and the nomenclature in Ayurveda about the Vigraha is that form of the Lord which can reciprocate with our sentient feelings. Means what? The way you serve, Krishna will reward accordingly. Yes? And then, if he is rewarding, you have to use in connection with the devotees who are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. And if there is a contradiction between your relationship and your behavior with the deity and not with the devotee, then failed. So why devotees are so important? Sevanam mukhe jivado swayam spuratyameva adya. By serving the devotees, the deity is also served, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself will be served. What a non-envious nature of serving is there, if you want love of Godhead. Matsthani sarva bhutani nach aham tetsvavastita. Everyone is embedded in me, but I am not there. Means, yes, Krishna does not leave Golok Vrindavan, a step outside of it. Krishna does not leave. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Can you imagine the hearts of gopis are so much purified by the serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he cannot leave even a step outside of Vrindavan. Then what is all these things? That he left them and kept them crying, never to return. No. Krishna could never leave. He was captured in the hearts of the gopis, the Brijavasis, so much that he admitted later, after finishing his functions in Dwarka, he said, I cannot repay. I am ever indebted to my pure devotees, the gopis. Napare aham. So that the point is that up to that extent we have to know, just like gopis know. And gopis worshipped, served Lord Krishna. So the service attitude was able to reveal the presence of the Lord ever with them. He never leaves his jiva alone. That's why if jiva in his distant existence, Paramatma, Krishna expands himself as Paramatma to accompany him. And he doesn't have even an iota to accept his presence or not. Even though they say, yeah, God is omnipresent, but what is it? He is present in you. He is the one who is facilitating all our desires. so we can fulfill it. But a devotee gives up his desire because they have been failing him all these 8.4 million species of life. Now, if they can devote to Lord's desire, then Krishna is easily available to them. Easily available to them. So, Srila Prabhupada says that the pure devotees of Lord Shri Krishna, they always sees the presence of the Lord through the eyes anointed with the salve of love. Knowledge is there, but these are internal eyes that have been, to be opened up by devotional service. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. Bhakti Vilochan. Lochan means eyes. The eyes of devotional service. And it is kept healthy and bright, shining eyes by the salve tinged with anointment of love. Mascara, kajal. People try to keep the eyes healthy, but that anointment should be of pure love. Santa sadaiva radeshu vilokayanti. What is that Radha? Where are his eyes? They are deep down embedded in the core of their consciousness. Not in pumping heart. Otherwise you will see only the heart pumping and no Krishna. People try to predict a kind of situation when Hanuman was asked to see show his Lord Rama and Sita situated in his heart. He tear off his chest to see in this heart. No, they are never showing his heart pumping, but the image is there. If one tears the heart, do you think he's going to leave? But this is a kind of an allegory. That what kind of heart are you talking? When you tear up the skin, muscles are still there. And nobody sees the muscles of Hanuman. Only sees the imprint of Sitaram on his chest. Now, the consciousness is coming from the soul, which is provided by the super soul. Because super soul is inside the soul. That is the position. That is Hridaya. Hridaya means the core of our consciousness. The most important and original part that keeps us alive, it is the pumping heart or it is the consciousness. It's the consciousness. So if consciousness is compared to the position of the heart, then where it would be? It would be, and the soul, which is the living entity, is so much infinitesimal that he is Anu. But Krishna is expanding himself in this Paramatma feature even smaller than the smallest Anu. Anu Raniyam Mahato Maniyam. These are the expressions of that. So it is the core of our consciousness. Because that part will be all consciousness. The soul is covered with consciousness. and consciousness will be so much overpowering that he sees himself in front of the Lord. So who is responsible? The Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Paramatma is responsible to facilitate the soul so he can fulfill his desires. So this is the understanding. It is all pervasive because the influence of the consciousness is so great. The consciousness can be carried by the oxygen, prana vayu. Consciousness is carried throughout the body, but then he expresses the liveliness of the outer part of his body also. And what to speak of internal? People are thinking that, there is some kind of aura existing outside the body that they call some kind of energy that can be photographed even for any living entity. Have you seen something? Even a leaf will have its own aura. So, but anyway, but all the different kinds of energies are diffusing, and that can be captured. But they give you a vague idea. But here the description does not give any vague idea. So, Maya tatamidam jagat sarvam avyaktamurtina. How Krishna is claiming with very precise wordings. Tatamidam, all pervasiveness. Jagat avyaktamurtina. Ordinary vision cannot see me. Those who are adept to see only through the eyes, not with the transcendental intelligence that is developed by reading the Shastra. Shastra Chakshus developed Jnana Chakshu, then ultimately turned into Divya Chakshu. That kind of Chakshu was given to Arjuna to see even his gigantic form. What to speak of the minutest form? The gigantic form. So, Avyaktamurti means difficult to be seen by those who are simply having the habit to see through the agency of three modes of material nature. But one has to get out from that. But the impersonal aspect, they can't see. They can speculate only. Because they call it avyakta rupa. Achintya rupa cannot be avyakta rupa. Difficult to be contemplated, that's okay. Avyakta is difficult to, that's why it's called achintya rupam. Advaitam achyutam anadim ananta rupam madhyam purana purushau navayavanam cha vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktau govindam ati purusha. There also only accessibility for this achintya rupa to be revealed only through pure devotional service. So pure devotional service starts from engaging our senses and the service of the master of the senses. Anya vilashadashanyam jnana karmadhanavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama sarvabadir virimuktam tatparatvan nirmalam rishikena rishikesam sevanam bhaktiruchyate. So like this, Rupa Goswami and Brahma Samhita, and these are the two foremost defending arguments that Srila Prabhupada puts here. So, The another example that the sun is situated in one place, yet its rays are expanded all over, and it is understood through the agency of heat and light that the presence of the sun is revealed. So, just as the sunshine is spread all over the universe, the energy of the Lord is all spread all over the creation, and everything is resting in that energy. Yet one should not conclude that because he is spread all over, has lost his personal existence. If somebody is dwelling on an expanded aspect, how can he imagine that because the Lord has expanded, he has lost his personal existence? He does not have vision. The transcendental vision is not available to anybody and everybody. Those who are fortunate selves, this fortunate self, out of mercy of Guru and Krishna, they receive the seed of the transcendental bhakti. All right? So, others are not fortunate. So, unfortunate may not have access. Neither they can construe any other methodology unless and until they want to engage their blunt senses in the service of the master of the senses. And that is a very rare thing. So, one should not conclude that because he has spread all over, he has lost his personal existence. To refute such an argument, the Lord says, I am everywhere and everything is in me, but I am still aloof. The absolute knowledge is to be received through those who have seen that absolute knowledge or absolute personality of Godhead. Those who have seen. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti tang jnanam jnanina tattvadarshina. Tattvadarshi means one who has seen the absolute truth. Tattvadarshi. The truth is not abstract. It is factual. It is not virtual. Neither it is abstract or imaginary. It is fact. Satyameva jayate nanrutam. The one which is not factual cannot be an absolute truth. That is the Vedic aphorism. So, one has to approach a bona fide spiritual master with the same service attitude that will be applied to the holy name and serving the devotees. Same attitude. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti tang jnanam jnanina tattva darshina. So, he will reveal you because he has seen the truth. He will reveal you. But our approach, the way how we approach is most important. We can't approach like an impersonalist. We have to invest complete faith in the personality of the spiritual master. And the methodology he brought means the whole system he has established. We have to have full faith in it. If they are not something not according to what Srila Prabhupada's instructions are, then you may question and correct it. But there is a process. So, they are the one who will reveal us the absolute truth. And Krishna says that absolute truth is going to be revealed. It means it's not going to be manufactured. It is already there. Because the absolute truth is at par with him. And he is there. So to establish simultaneous manifestation of the Lord and the knowledge of him, Krishna says, once the absolute truth is revealed to you, you will not have this illusion again. This moha will be gone. That is the first reaction. Na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava. My dear Arjun, you will never again ever get illusion. And you will say, etanya bhutanya sheshani drakshas atmanyatho mai. You will see that all living entities are but my part and parcel. They are in me and they are mine. Yathomai. But Krishna says one step, yeah, they are in me. But my existence as Supreme Personality of Godhead is not there in them. Because he is living in his own sweet abode called Golok Vrindavan, and he does not put up a step outside. So his spiritual creation and material creation, they are both his expansion. One is eternally expanded through the internal potency, and other is expanded through external potency with an effect of coming and going nature. One is Sanatan Dham, and the material nature is not Sanatan. Why? Because the element of hate and a different desire to compete with Krishna cannot make you surrender to Krishna so easily. So why should he manifest in front of you? Why? He reserves the right, Prabhupada says, he reserves the right to manifest on whom he chooses. Because he is absolute truth, he is Swarat, independent. That is the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And here it has been indicated in the form of that absolute knowledge, and which is the most confidential part of it. And it is to be revealed to only Adurlabham Atma Bhakto. So all the devotees taking part in Prabhupada's, process that he brought, they are all Atma Bhaktas. And they progress. So anybody has any question on this?
Hare Krishna. You were saying that the impersonalist actually doesn't realize the full devoted or it's only imaginary. So, and the same also then would go for the yogi who's meditating on the Rama. Without, until he comes to devotion, he won't actually get realization.
It's very difficult for the yogis also. But the most difficulty is with the devotees. But unless and until we become Atma Bhakta. Prabhupada says that the impersonalists and others, and they say, oh, bhakti is too easy to perform, though it does not involve jnana or karma even. Yes, Prabhu, so everybody can do it, but it is extremely difficult. Jnana is nothing. Why are you giving so much importance to jnana? It may be difficult because you have to study physically, but you end up neti. Not this, not that. Jnanis do not conclude. They can't conclude. There is no conclusion. They will make every day a new meaning out of it, of the same sloka. Alright? And dhyan is also coming with the knowledge and then try to see within his own heart. So he is also having knowledge, but then he wants to put up austerity and control over the senses and Ashtanga Yoga, and there he goes off when being eluded by the siddhis. So it is very difficult. Impersonalists, they have difficulty, yes. More difficulty is for the dhyanis. But the most difficult is for the devotees. Bhakti is the most difficult because most of the time the perfectness of the process is not there. They take some, give up other. They have no faith in the personal practice of previous acharyas. They don't care of even the disciplic succession, what they are bringing down, the same, absolute truth without deviation. It is difficult to carry on the, conclusion in the same. So many isms are coming up. Do you think bhakti is easy? The ritviks will be there, people will try to criticize so many ways. But if we stick to the process that Prabhupada brought, success is there.
So that means we should concentrate on faith in the process and
That's correct.
Serving the devotees.
That's correct. The process is perfect. Prabhupada said, I may not be perfect, but the process I follow is perfect. So what hope do you have? Follow the process or follow the personality?
Try and follow the process.
Personality will be revealed if we follow the process. How come many are misunderstanding Srila Prabhupada? Even though those who have good fortune to associate with them. Why? So there are so many situations that they fail to follow. So how come bhakti is so cheap? that anybody can do. Impersonal is also turning the pages of Vedas and Vedas and conclude that you can't pinpoint absolute truth. Not this, not that. And the devotees might have to follow. But when you are given a conclusion coming from disciplic succession with the authority and conviction, if we just put our concentration on this process, perfection is there. Perfection comes on its way. It's a byproduct. But the love of Godhead is the main. Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. That is the secret of success, is lying and following a path. Prabhupada also tells about in the aspect of visualizing the manifested energies of the Lord, the 10th chapter. It's a gradual development of divine vision. But Arjuna wanted to visualize these potencies that Lord Krishna described. Krishna is telling that Arjuna, I'm just going to tell you the principle, manifestations. But then after telling this principal manifestation, he is asking question to Arjuna. Athva kim bahuna tava gyatena tava Arjuna. Vistabhyam aham Krishnam ekanshena jagastita. Why do you want me to tell you all these different potencies? It's a waste of time. Know only one thing, that I am all pervading simply by a fragment of myself. Ekanshena jagatostita. So he was trying to estimate the Lord's manifestation everywhere. Raso aham apsu kaunteya. Arjuna wanted to meditate on drinking water and remembering Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you told me that you are tasting water. Let me taste you. Yes, come on, but understanding is good enough. So, manifestations and avyaktamurti. Vyaktamurti you can understand, but avyaktamurti, yes, that requires, it is the personality of Godhead, avyaktamurti, because he is not manifesting Naam Prakasa Sarvasya Yogamaya Samavruta. He is not exhibiting himself. He is covering rather himself into the internal potency. Because Krishna wants us to understand how he is manifesting and how he is the supreme controller at the same time, even though he is not present personally. Who is controlling? His other expanded personalities are there. And the ultimate of all, Paramatma, is too difficult to visualize. What to speak of the original personality of Godhead? Do you think it is cheap? Bhakti is never cheap. Bhakti is never that much easy to be performed. But if we follow in the footsteps of great acharyas, it will be revealed. Anything else? Yeah.
Sometimes we can hear about that we should give our senses to Rishikesha, who is supreme controller of everything, who is can control our senses, and sometimes we can hear like control your mind, control something. How to understand properly what can we control and
By using our senses in service of Krishna, itself is controlled. Why? Because that is the original use of the senses. Never for sense gratification. Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, and the subjects of perceptions, right? There are 15 elements that have been created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. If Brahma could have created that, then it was a different subject matter. But Krishna, created these 23 elements and gave an entry to the living entity. That is number 24th. One is spiritual, others are means and subjects distinguishable, for the service. Everything is provided and we think, oh, it is for our exploitation. Where is the question of exploitation? Rishikena rishikesam sevanam bhakti ruchyate. Rishik means Indriya, and Rishikesha means the master of the senses. It means the master of the knowledge acquiring senses. Unless and until the senses are serving the master of senses, he will be not known. For Gyan is not an Indriya. You do not require any Indriya to give you Gyan of the absolute truth. This Indriya is going to give you the physical vision, and what can you make out of it? Then, if you can see that all that you see, touch, everything is connected with the three modes of material nature, and you are not part of it, get out from that. You are liberated. Sarvapadhir vinirmuktam tatparatverna nirmalam, then rishikena rishikesham sevanam bhakti richate. We have to get rid of that. Oh, I am serving, but I also feel each of sense gratification. Come on, give me a break. Rishik. Arre Baba, think of Rishikesh, not Rishik. The senses are meant for Rishikesh. Isha means he is the controller, he is the Lord of our senses. Go also means senses. Gokulesh. Cows and go, they are the same thing. If you cannot keep cow for pleasure of Krishna, keep your senses for the pleasure of Krishna. It's one and the same thing. Both are goes. Which is easy? Tell me. To keep the cows for the pleasure of Lord Krishna, or keep your senses for the pleasure of Krishna? Which is easier?
Both are difficult. Both are difficult.
Come on. No, if you are determined keeping senses under control by engaging in service of Krishna is not difficult. Otherwise, to keep the cows, but that is for the whole society to follow, an ideal varnashram. Those who are simply materialistic. But even though materialistic can understand the religiosity behind maintaining the cows, make the cows happy, because that is the purpose. And the higher orders, Brahman, Vaishya and Kshatriya, they are supposed to engage and give protection or worship the cows. Devotees can expand Go Seva. But if they do Go Seva and do not do their engage their senses in the service of Krishna, then that's how it's easy to turn away and cows become burden. Easy to turn away. Because one is not serving the senses in the service of master of senses. And he will be doubly responsible. Double jeopardy, they call it. Anything else? You are a Vyaktamurti.
Maharaj, thank you very much for the very enlightening lecture. Maharaj, I just want to know, we are not perfect.
But if you follow the perfect, you will become perfect. So don't make an excuse of not perfect and expand it.
So, I mean, if somebody questions, you are preaching without being perfect. If the answer is that we are preaching the perfect process, is it okay?
Right. But at the same time, by preaching others, we are preaching ourselves too. We are reminding ourselves, are we bluffing? If you preach others, you will be preaching yourself too. Srimad Bhagavatam spells out, and you are not supposed to preach outside of Bhagavatam. Preach, and you will be benefited. How long can you remain hypocrite? Otherwise, the world is hypocrisy. But a devotee is trying to purify by preaching others, he can preach himself also. But preaching is required. But preach as it has been preached. Don't add anything or subtract anything. Anything else? All right, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.